Here we have an electric cooktop, and let's see how to use it. It is built into this wooden board. It has two zones, that one and this one. Both of them can be controlled. This is the control for the lower one because that one is filled. That's the lower one towards me, and that's the other one, the top one. Okay, so we have the on-off button. By the way, these buttons are touch buttons, so since it's a glass surface, you just touch it. Now it's on, hold it a little bit, and now it's off. So let's power it on. Select which zone to use, the top one or the lower one, by pressing either this one or that one. Now here we have a 0, that's the level of heating. Now there we have a 0, and that's the level of the heating for the top one. So by doing this we can select which burner to use. Let's use the top one. The level of heating is set to 0. You can slide your finger on this, and now it is on 7. And in time it is getting hot. So it is not an induction cooker. Induction cookers don't have a glowing light. This is a simple resistor. And now if I slide it to a lower value, it turns off. Slide it higher, it turns on. Slide it lower, turns off. And let's enable this. Set it to the maximum, and thus it's visible, it's glowing. And it's hot, don't touch it. Okay, now enable the other one also. Now that has a number, and the same thing, you can slide your finger and it will enable that also. Notice it's getting brighter and brighter. Now this has two zones, the inner one and the outer one, and that can be controlled with this. So now I just turned off the outer one, that light went out. Press it again, and now it's powering on the outer portion also. Okay, so let's turn off this one by sliding it to the left. Go. Now this turned off because it is set to 8, it's not set to maximum. The maximum is 9. By the way, I just pressed that and I accidentally powered on that also. So be cautious, you can accidentally do something unwanted, and from there you can power it off. Okay, it has another timer function, so if I power it on, enable it, notice it's beeping because it's asking me which one to enable. So use the lower one. Disable the outer portion of the lower one, increase the heat, it is glowing. Now if I press the timer, I can select in how many minutes it will power off. Let's set it to just 1 minute, you don't have to do anything, and after 1 minute it will turn itself off. And since it's on 9, it is continuously on, so it will not go darker and colder. And since this is also enabled, there's the 1 minute. The minute is also visible. You know that the timer is enabled. And after the time passes, that will turn automatically off so that you don't burn your food. Let's wait until that powers off. So it's glass and it's off. It is dark, the minute went to 0, and it also turned off the entire device. So you cannot accidentally start it. Both of them are hot, the lower one and the top one. This is a capital H, probably it's more heat. Small h, probably it's less hot. Yes, this is, ouch, it hurts even up there. That is a little bit colder. That is a little bit warmer. Okay, so that's a Siemens cooktop electric. It's not induction, so it will heat anything. Metals and even ceramics. It will melt even the plastic. And compared to a gas-powered heater, this is continuously eliminating heat. So if you leave your food here, the heat from this glass probably will boil your food. So if you turn off this one, you don't have any heat. The metals don't heat too much because they are small, but this is a large surface. This will heat your food even if it is off. Now we have small H on both, so probably this one also cooled down. By the way, this type of heater is varying the heat, not by eliminating more heat or less heat, but simply keeping shorter pauses or longer pauses. If the pauses are too short or zero, then the heat will be high. If the pauses are longer, then of course it has time to cool off and thus the heat is less. Heat cannot accumulate. And now it cool off. It's not totally cold, but the letters disappeared, the H letters, so it's not that hot. It's somewhat safe to touch. By the way, take care because metal objects can power on this device. And it will get hot, this portion. And yes, it's hot. Come on. Now it's off. It's hot because of the metal. So do not place metal objects onto it. And by the way, there is that little triangle on the side, that one. That is showing which of these heaters are active. So if I touch this, then that triangle will go here. Now there is that tiny triangle, that one. Touch that and it went there. Now you can control the upper burner heater, and now you can control the lower heater, and you can see which one is set to which temperature. So if I activate this one and set it to, let's say, 5, but activate that one, the 5 is still shown. Now let's set that one to 3. If I activate this, the 3 is still shown. So you can know that the lower one is at that value and the upper one is at that value. That one down, that one down. Now both of them are off. And since these commands are here on the top and not somewhere on the sides, take care, you can put things on it. Here it can power it on, and there it can give sparks. So since the controls are up here, it's more dangerous.